Hello everybody, Ray Garner with Garner's Games here to do my weekly comic review. And this week, it's going to be about survival. Supergirl, Survive. Using the alternate cover here, which I really like. This is brought to us by Ethan Parker and Griffin Sheridan is our artist. This is an Elseworld story. For those familiar with it, doesn't follow main continuity. It is its own thing. And we start off with our heroine, Kara Zor-El, meeting her cousin, Kal-El. And we start hearing there's a little bit of trouble between Zor-El and Jor-El as they're kind of arguing over what's going on with Krypton. But Kara is at the Kandor Police Academy, and she is doing pretty good. We got the standard, school stuff where trying to get a date. Also, actually, not even really trying to get a date. Her friend's trying to get her to get a date. And, she ends up sitting beside this guy. What was his name? I already forgot his name. I don't see his name right now. But as they're standing there, her friend who's trying to play matchmaker gives her the 2 thumbs up about the guy. And then we have a drill. And this is an atom attack drill. Basically, we're doing the whole nuclear attack. And they're literally doing the getting under their desk. The old duck and cover era, for those of you who know a little about history. And while they're there, the guy actually asked her to go to formal with her. So they're talking about that. We get a little glimpse of people being told to slow down as they're driving by a giant hologram. And then when we get there, we're watching the Emperor's broadcast. And the Emperor is apparently Zod. Although he's much older than the Zod I'm used to. But he's just as power-hungry mad. And I don't get much backstory about this, but apparently at some point they turned the moon green around Krypton. Because, there's a conversation between her and a friend says, "Did you see the Zod thing? Scary." She's like, "I know. Do you think they're going to do it? Turn this place green too? I don't know." But middle of the night, the war actually starts. And they're immediately trying to get to shelter. And as we're trying to shelter, Jor-El and family show up. And they've obviously been working on a ship, although they haven't done it in a while because they've been arguing with each other. And that. But through a very long, very well written sequence, they give a sedative to Kal-El, and they're rushing Kara and getting dressed in her spacesuit. And then her and Kal-El take off, with her even sitting there looking back and going, "Somebody help me." And then they launch. But as they're leaving, a whole bunch of surface-to-air missiles come after them and hit the spacecraft. So they don't make the jump to Earth. They land on the green moon. I'm just going to go on this page right here. This page is very well thought out and very well drawn. And all the little bubbles, the little captures in time, almost like you're seeing, like a strobe effect. I think that's what they're going for. And it's amazing. She's like, it's going to be okay. And as she's looking up, Krypton is basically obliterating itself in a nuclear war. And hearing the baby crying, it snaps Kara out of her tears, and she goes back to check on him. And then all of a sudden the computer's like deploying. A gun comes out. It's like anomaly detected. I don't understand why. Unregistered life form within range. Organism. Self-defensive measures recommended. And so she's pointing the ray gun, because it looks like a 1950s ray gun, at whatever this arm is we see from the moon. And that's where we end. Oh, and I stand corrected as I get back here to the actual credits. I hadn't checked this before I said it. Ethan Parker and Griffin Sheridan are the writers. Reis is our artist in the cover. Very cool Elseworlds, very sci-fi. Like I said, a lot of 1950s inspiration. So I'm really looking forward to how this goes. I'd actually like to know why the moon is green. Because obviously it wasn't green before based on this, so even this world it wasn't. So a lot of cool stuff. I like the family tension, but we put it aside, to basically save the kids. I like the fact that we're not just immediately going to Earth, that they're basically a crash landing on the moon, and they got to figure out how to survive, which is the name of the deal, survive. So I'm looking forward to this. I was very happy with this first issue. The art's really crisp, and I think you should check it out. May Ra protect you, I guess, as we go. Is it Rio? It's R-A-O. So, however you say it. See you next week.